last month we had gone with Emma and Tommy to a music festival, and the company that he works for resells European, like expensive European tents and stuff, and they resell them in Japan, usually on the internet. And they have like promotional events and stuff where they come to music festivals and they set up things and they show people the tents, etc., etc. So last month we went to one of these and it went really well. So we've come to another one actually, and this one is a little more like relaxed. It's called the New Acoustic Camp or New Music Acoustic Camp or something along those lines. I don't remember the name. And it's 2 days, and so you stay overnight. And the difference with this one is there was no like pounding music in the middle of the night, so you could actually sleep. So it's been actually pretty quaint and pretty easy. So yeah, it's been nice, and there's been some bands playing. And it's weird because you hear them play things like you just never expect, like Video Killed the Radio Star to be played in Japan by a country band. Or, I don't know, you just hear some really strange American music in this specific type of festival, because like, a lot of it's acoustic and a lot of it is almost on the edge of country, so you know, they import music directly from America to a certain degree and then twist it a bit. So you definitely hear music that's weird, and it's really pretty up here. It's like up in the mountains and stuff, and it's just gorgeous. And they had all these amazing lights and stuff set up last night, and you're like in this forest with all these like disco balls, and it's really, it just feels like magical. It's really been interesting. So another good weekend had by everyone. At these festivals, they tend to have areas where they can demonstrate different types of camping gear. They had a manufacturer of kayaks, and Tommy and Katie went out on the little pond and rode around, and then ended up getting quite wet. How was your voyage?
It was wet. And I did a bunch of spins because I'm really not good at kayaking.
I realize we're here with a company that sells a bunch of tents, but Katie and I slept in the van last night. We got a tremendous amount of rain, and we are really happy that we just got to be in the absolute 100% waterproof vehicle.
Check this out. That's a car. It's not our car. It's Emma and Tommy's car. But we are using it today to go to IKEA.
The car lives with us.
Yeah, it does live with us in slot number 2 outside of our building.
We have a free parking space, and they don't have a free parking space, so they just leave it at our apartment, and then like we can use it on like days, I guess, that they're not using it, kind of, like sort of. But I mean, we don't plan on using it very much because it's expensive to drive and expensive to park and yada yada yada. But Emma's actually like an hour and a half or 2 hours away in this town that there's an IKEA at, and her in-laws were gonna drive her back to Kumagaya, but we'll just go because there's an IKEA and a Costco there, and we'll go there and check that stuff out, and then she can get a ride home in her own car. So that works out really well. And it's pretty fun. I get to drive. They drive on the left side of the road here, and the steering wheel is on the right side of the road. And so you have to get used to like the staying. Yeah, like I'm constantly driving, like stay on the left, stay on the left, stay on the left. And then the turn signal is the turn signal for the car is on the right hand of the steering wheel, and on the left hand, where like you naturally think our turn signal is the wipers. So every time I make a turn, the wipers, I like hit the wipers, I'm like, ah! And the wipers go off, and it's frustrating to say the least. But that's really the hardest part, is dealing with the turn signals. Okay, so I've been teaching a few classes a week at this little, it's called a Juku, it's like a little school that's like, it's like an after-school cram school type thing. Like kids go to school all day and then they go here, and like some of the classes are late, like they're like 8:45. I go to class at night, and like the kids are there until 10 o'clock, and then they get up and go to school in the morning, like real school. It's insanity. Like they really, really, really go to school too much here. But anyways, it's fun. I just go and like sit there and like repeat things for like so they can learn how to like pronounce things properly, and then I correct like put your tongue up for L, keep it down for R, these types of things. And the classes are usually like sometimes there's only like 2 kids there, sometimes there's like 15 kids, and they're all like middle school age, so that puts them 12 to 15 or so, I guess. So I mean, it's for me, it's really fun, and they, it's a little bit of like pocket cash or whatever. So it's a good time, but it's certainly not a career. But I thought I would go ahead and show you my commute, because my commute is pretty awesome. So this is our apartment. So you can see us. And this is our parking lot. So I'm going to go down these stairs. And normally, if I was going out, I would go over here and get my bicycle. But in this case, I don't need it. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk out here. And these are just more apartments. And these like things that look like sheds are actually houses. It's really strange, like really ghetto looking. But hey, whatever. Here's a little note. See this thing? Like this sticks up quite a bit out of the ground. I assume from earthquakes. And like the 3rd night we were here, I was riding my bicycle out of the parking lot at night, and I couldn't see this, and I hit it and went over my handlebars and landed here and got a little roughed up. So that was fun. Okay, and you go out here, and these are actually houses as well. And this is a huge complex, and it's what it is it's 2 houses. Some people live here. Actually, a friend of mine lives here. And then this is the school that I teach at. So this is my commute. And I just walk out here, and it's Sunday, so the gate will be shut probably, but I'll still show you like where it's at. So I walk around this corner, and this is the gate, and that's it. So that's where I walk to school to teach. So like sometimes I have like 20 minutes between classes, so I just go home and then I just walk back because it takes 30 seconds. And so the reason that I got this gig is because I was taking my trash out one morning. So when you take your trash out, you just carry it, like, remember we live up here, I carried it down here, and you put it here. And I was throwing it away, and there was this little lady, like older lady in her 70s, like standing right there, and she was like working in her garden or whatever. She starts talking to me in English, and you can see she's got like, I guess those are mekons, and just like different fruits and stuff. Anyways, so she's talking to me in English. And she's like, where are you from, blah, blah, blah. And she basically wanted like to take English lessons from me. Her English is pretty good. Like her comprehension is extremely good, and her spoken English is pretty good. It's not excellent, but it's pretty good. So she has studied English like on and off for like a long time, and sometimes she goes to England for like a month at a time, and goes to like these schools that are language schools for older people. And then she's like at a homestay in England, so she gets to hang out with people from the country and whatnot. So I get to talking to her, and she's like, she wants to take English lessons or whatever. I was like, okay, well, like this is when we first moved here. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do that, but I'm not willing to get paid for it. So I had no idea what I was doing. And so it turned into a thing where she would help me with Japanese, and I would help her with English, and that works out really good. And then she's like, well, I want you to help my grandkids, or one of my grandkids, with English. I was like, okay. So she started doing that, and she was paying me a little bit for that. And so I'd go over there once a week, and I'd help him with pronunciation and just go over his English lessons with him and stuff. Nothing major. And so like after like a month of this, I was like, if you know anybody else that wants like, some help with things like that after school or something, go ahead and tell them, and I'm willing to like do it more, because I thought it was fun. It was a good time. So she was like, oh, by the way, my daughter owns this school. And I had no idea that was even a school until she told me. I was like, oh. so she talks to her daughter, and her daughter like has me come and do a couple classes, and like slowly she gives me more and more and more classes. So that's how I got the gig, just taking my trash out. So that was it's pretty cool. I do really, if I could do more hours there, it would be incredible. It would be the best job of all time. But I don't think that like they don't have that many classes. Like I think it's kind of like a part-time thing for them. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. And hopefully, I mean, if the very worst, I can like tell other people like, look, I've done this before, so I can use her as a reference and stuff. So I mean, at the very worst, it's fun. It gives me pocket cash, and I've got a reference. But that's all I've got to say about my little job. And now you know everything there is to know. Let me explain a bit here. This is Emma and Tommy. Emma is the other foreign English teacher that works at Kyde's school, and Tommy is her husband. They are both Swedish, but Tommy has lived in Japan for most of his life. We're at a Halloween party at their apartment, and we've just played a game where you pass around a fake bomb that explodes when one random string of 5 is pulled. Tommy has just pulled the losing string, and his punishment is to eat pumpkin pie. He despises pumpkin pie.
I lost. I lost for winning the junking game. This was a winner. This was a winner. This was a winner. And I was the loser.
That was great detail.
I got second place in junking.
And what does the loser have to do?
Eat pumpkin cake. Horrible.
This is like the world's like best offense.
Oh. This is bad.
You don't have to eat the whole
Yes,
thing.
he does. Don't tell me.
Really bad.
How come you got this little tiny slice?
But what?
Where's the mega slice?
What?
Why is it bad?
It tastes bad.
It doesn't.
Well, this is maybe a little bit better than
Getting there.
handmade.
Emma, you look
Soon
like
he'll be
you're
eating
from
pumpkin.
Designing Women now.
And that's a piece?
No, thank you. Oh.
We're in Kawago. We've come here for a day of geocaching, and we found out that this place is a huge tourist attraction. One of their biggest draws is that they have many buildings from the Edo period, so it looks really ancient. In the area that we're in, not so ancient, but they have a huge strip of buildings that were never torn down since that period, and they just look incredible. The area that we're in now is called the Penny Candy Lane. And basically it's just candy shop after candy shop after candy shop. And I just bought a bunch of candy. Awesome.
They have these things like in Japan where you can come here and like you write like a message on a piece of wood or a piece of paper or something, in this case pieces of wood, and then you can hang them, and it's like a wish or something, like, you know, like yeah, you know, a wish basically. I guess that's the best way to explain it. And this one is like, look how long this is, like thousands and thousands of them are in here. And that is pretty cool. And I just thought I would share. We've come to a town about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Kumagaya to go find a geocache. And we're up on this top of this hill. So you can see there's like, you know, a valley. We're on top of the hill by the valley, and we're in like a park. And if you see, it's almost December, and like some of the trees are changing colors and stuff. And on the walk up, we were realizing that like they do have a, you know, the fall is okay looking here, but it's nothing like it is in Virginia. But I'm not sure. Perhaps it's not fair to compare to the spectacular fall colors of Virginia. But something that's interesting about this park is there is this slide here and it's really long. Like it goes all the way to the bottom of this hill and it starts there. And the way that the slides here work is they've got like rollers on them, and you sit on like a piece of cardboard or something, and then you go down and you go rather rapid. And but yeah, I mean the slide is like quite long. It goes like, it's like a minute or two to get to the bottom, which is like quite a long time to be sliding. This is quite fast. Oh my gosh. I weigh more than Katie, so. And?
That's very good. You kept nudging me. I thought I was gonna die.
Look at my shoes.
Oh my.
I
Why
was
did
trying
that happen?
brakes. I was trying to not plow you over.
Alright, I'm going behind you next time.
And then when you get to the bottom of the slide, you get out the slide and then there's this. Why is there a giant dinosaur here? He's got things to say. Okay, for the mega slide, we have acquired some butt pads, and
I went down the slide without the butt pad and it made my butt very warm. And it vibrated things that I didn't know were gonna get vibrated.
Yeah, girl. Unfortunately, there's not a slide that goes up the hill, so you have to walk up these stairs, of which there are many of.
Best ride ever. We are in Ashikaga, which is a little ways away from that slide and about 45 minutes north of Kumagaya. And we've come here to do some geocaching, but as always, whenever you go geocaching in any city that has more than like 2 caches, it's a tourist hub. Like, there are tons of shrines here. Not as many people here as we have seen in other tourist towns, but a good number. We're having to be quite sly, or not, in my case, to try and find our geocaches. But we're seeing ladies in kimonos. Not sure why they have their kimonos on today. Doesn't seem like there's a big thing going on today, but it's still cool to see them in their kimonos and the everyday type thing. So it's kind of cool. I like that tree.
So check this out. This is a clock, right? And it's got like liquid and stuff that drips down through things and all these like tubes and pipes and this moving pendulum. And as you can see, like it shows like what time, like minutes are over here. You can see like it's like it just chugged a whole bunch of water down. That was pretty cool looking. Anyway, it's like 49 minutes after the hour, and then over here you got hours where it says it's like 2 pushing 3 o'clock, I guess is how that works. Okay, so we're still geocaching here, and we are up on this hill, and there's this little temple. And as you can see, there's another little temple, and sometimes there's things that just look super, super Japanese. And as you can see, Katie is over here, and she is, now she's taking a picture, but I think she thinks the cache is where these kids are, and they're like doing like gymnastic moves or something. I don't know what they're up to. But anyways, the view is again pretty awesome, and we're here and it's getting close to sunset, so you can see the sun is setting and sort of behind that sign. Okay, same hill, now we're kind of on top of it, and I know we're kind of blocked by our view, but these are sakura trees, so that's kind of interesting, and for a couple weeks a year they're probably very beautiful. And behind me is what we have read is a burial ground, or burial mound, I guess is what they call it. And to me, it reminds me of those tombs that we saw when we were in Korea that were like these big lumps that were just like coming up out of the field. But it's a little bizarre that, that this big lump is here, and I wonder how many people are in it, or if it's like some sort of like, maybe it was like royal people back in the day or something. Who knows? But now I have to find Katie because there she is. She had wandered off looking for the cache because Katie gets very focused. You see. Like she's like, okay, I'm going geocaching, and it doesn't matter if there was like a unicorn here. She would be like, don't care about the unicorn, we're here to geocache. She's giving me the finger at the moment. Let's see. How do you feel about that? It's true, isn't it? Katie, there's a unicorn over there by that mountain. What do you feel about it?
Does he know where the geocache is? So we've come to our last cache of the evening, and I was kind of excited. And we get up here, and we've been waiting for these kids to go away, but it seems like they were dancing and like throwing their arms in the air, and we couldn't figure out what was going on in the daylight. But now, they've given us the answer.
Perhaps they work for an airport? We're not sure.
That plane's really confused. My friend Makiko and I found this awesome restaurant. It looks really expensive, but it's not. I have a gigantic salad for about 590 yen, and Eric has a omelet yakisoba. I'm not sure exactly that's how you say it, but and it's like 600 yen, and we will be fed, and that's pretty amazing. So the restaurant is kind of based on little cubicles. You go into these little rooms, it's almost a private affair where you get to sit with your group and enjoy your area of the restaurant. You essentially sit on the floor, but the floor is dug out underneath the tables so that your feet go underneath, and you have like a little heated pad underneath there to keep your toes warm. So it's a pretty nice setting.
Check this out. When you come in, you have to like take your shoes off because, you know, you're in Japan, and then they give you this like little key. And then you stick the little key, which is like grooved out in the back, into this, and then ta-da, there are your shoes. It's early December, and I'm outside of a conglomeration of malls that is down by the train station downtown. And this is the winter illumination that is, there's signs up all over town for it. This is it. So there's a couple of like fake trees and some Christmas lights. And this is how we get into the holiday spirit here in Kumagaya. Another note that I don't know if this is interesting or not, but they do play Christmas music here in the malls. A lot of it, like some of it is just exactly what you expect, but a lot of it is like, it's clearly Japanese people singing it, and it's like most of the time still in English, but kind of like rough sounding, like, you know, mispronounced and stuff. But the jingles and the tunes are also the same, so even though we've come to all the way to the other side of the planet to try to avoid hearing Christmas music all the time, we still can't escape it. It is everywhere. We'll try a Muslim country next, I think. Wait, no. We were in Kuala Lumpur last time there was a Christmas when we were outside of the States, and there was Christmas stuff everywhere there. You cannot escape Christmas music. This morning it is quite clear. It is early December, so the air is really clear, and usually in the distance things are a little bit hazy in Japan, but it's really crisp, and it's quite cold and clear. So I don't think the camera is going to pick this up, but I can see it fairly well from our apartment, like, you know, our apartment doors, like windows, like going outside. You can see Mount Fuji, like, and you can see it snow-capped Mount Fuji. And it's really zoomed in now, and it's right at the tip of my finger. And if you can't see it there, I'll like try to put a photograph in and then maybe like do some enhancements right here, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So let's hope that works out. So Katie and Emma went to Costco, and Katie just got back, and look at this. Look at how large this is. This is humongous. Okay, so I'll put this down, right? And then I'll put a soda can next to it. So you have an idea how big this bag of Dove, I guess it's shampoo. Or is it conditioner? I don't know. Conditioner, okay. And I guess, is this one shampoo? Yes. One is shampoo, one is conditioner. These are ridiculous bags of
And pizza.
Alright, I'm happy about this pizza.
I don't sound very happy.
Look at all this celery. Are you just gonna sit around and eat celery for a while?
How much do you think that celery costs?
I don't know. What did the celery cost?
382 yen.
That's really cheap.
So less than $5 for that ridiculous bag.
Lingonberries. Excellent. So what side of the road do they drive on in Japan?
Drive on the left.
What side of the road do you drive on in Japan?
Middle.
That was fast.
It was.